to order. And the first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank God the Red Sox went off the first months. I know. Okay, the second item is the approval of the September 16th minutes.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Policies for first reading tonight are EB, safety programs. It has minor changes.
So the minor changes to EB, we added the paragraph about workplace safety programs. That's part of the RSA, so it comes directly from there. It's required to be in the policy. And then the second change is under the Joint Loss Management Committee. The wrong RSA was referenced. So we took the language directly from the School Boards Association policy with the reference to the correct RSA and included that. And then just added another component in the third paragraph, the functions of the committee, of the Joint Loss Committee, and the RSAs and applicable ed rules. And then a heading for school safety, because that section wasn't called out. And on the second page, we added all the legal references. We've been trying to add the legal references into the policies because it just makes it easier for the public when they're like, oh, what is ED 306? So that way they can just put it in their Google search and find it.
Okay.
Or just click on it.
Yeah. And that's it for that one.
That makes it easy. Anybody have any questions or? Bob?
I move it to the board for first reading.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And then we have policy EBCA, crisis prevention and emergency response.
There are no recommended changes. This is a policy that the board has to review every 3 years, and so here it is. And it still is in line with all of the statutes, so we move it forward with no changes recommended.
So even with the pandemic, we haven't had to make any changes to our emergency response.
Nope, this is the crisis and emergency response. It still aligns with the laws. This is the fire hazards and
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any questions?
I move EBCA, Crisis Prevention Emergency Response, to full board for first reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Next, we have policies for second reading. Policy JO-R1, instruction for student admittance and transfer. And policy JPA, student district criteria for evaluation of students under IDEA. It's for relettering. It's now going to be policy IHBAA.
And if you'll recall, the only change to the JOR1 was just the addition of the language that says the district can accept another formal form of age. So it's not just birth certificate, but any legal document that references the student's age. That's it.
Any questions for these two policies? I'll accept a motion to send it to the full board for second reading and adoption.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And that brings us to public comment. Do we have anybody that wants to?
We do have a member of the public here.
I know.
We
there's
do.
some public.
We don't usually get anyone.
No, we're just listening.
Okay.
Okay. Number 6, under other, is there any others?
There is one there.
Oh, there is one. Policy BBBD, board member removal from office, a discussion.
Has there been any movement from city council yet? Or?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, okay,
So we're kind of still in a holding pattern.
okay.
It is on the ballot, on the.
I saw that, yeah.
that is mentioned on the ballot to adjust it to be in line with RSA, or
On the ballot?
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
chapter 70.
Change the charter.
oh,
Charter change for,
I think in line with the law will give them the authority to make these type of decisions.
This, if I may,
okay.
the city council is also bringing up at their next meeting the final review of the ethics
Mhm.
committee, ethics guidelines.
So then after those, the meeting and the vote, then there might be something to discuss for, maybe adding that language that you had removed back in and
Yeah.
So we'll just hold it,
keep it on there.
keep it on there.
one thing under other,
Yeah.
Ms. Cressy, if I may.
Yeah.
At our last full board meeting, Mr. Downs had asked that the policy committee review the new discipline law and our procedures and how that's working.
I believe that he talked with Mr. Rafusi, and he didn't know that the policy was a reflection of the law, and his concern was really on the process and practice that was taking place at a particular school, which really isn't a policy.
It's not part of the policy.
Yeah, so the policy is the reflection of the law, and then how that's implemented at the schools is, I think, was his concern. So he had that talk with Mr. Rafusi.
Okay. Maybe we could review it under instruction with the NDIS or the
MTSS?
MTSS. Maybe
Um,
we could review that process.
We could have MTS well, in November, you're scheduled to have at instruction, the middle school and high school come and give an update on their summer professional development, but I could ask them to come in December and we can move MTSS, and we can ask some people from MTSS to come and talk about what they're doing. We just had a discussion about it at our management meeting as well. So I think it would be interesting for you. I think that the system is actually more restrictive as far as giving more parameters for people than it used to be. It's just, I think people are just not doing it. So, yeah, so it would be a nice discussion to have maybe at instruction.
And is there some data we can look at? Is there,
Mhm.
okay.
There is,
Yep,
yes. Yeah,
Great.
our referrals are down and
yep,
more
great.
kids in class and attendance is up, so,
Yep,
That's good.
yeah.
great.
So it seems to be working well in most places.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
welcome.
Any other? Would someone like to motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.